Look, I'll lay it out for you. Now, I'll tell you what I saw. Thought I saw. And you can tell me I'm as crazy as the rest of them. Right. So, this was last week. And I'm down here on the shore with Simon and Andrew. They're good blokes. Brothers. Got a nice sturdy little boat of their own. We'd had a bit of a rubbish night. Caught nothing. Which does happen, but it's rare. Dad had headed home to report to Mum, and we were down there on the shore, just seeing quiet like, getting a few jobs done before heading back ourselves. It was then that this new rabbi, Jesus, the one there's all the fuss about, turns up down at the shore to speak to folk. Before long, there's a crowd of about 70 or 80 locals gathered round to listen to him. Little brother, straight down there to the front, of course, lapping it all up. He's always been a sucker for a good story, our John, and Jesus is full of them. He's a good speaker, though. No, I'll give him that. He doesn't muck about, gives it to them straight. And they're right, he has got a bit of a way about him. He's not easy to ignore. So there they all are, hanging on to his every word. And I realise after a bit that I've gone as still as the rest of them. I feel a bit daft. I mean, nets don't mend themselves, do they? So I'll give myself a bit of a shake and get back to work. Oh, it's not long after. I see him go over and have a word with Simon and Andrew, and Simon helps him up onto one of the boats and pushes him out from shore a bit so people can see and hear him better. And he talks for a while longer. But then I see Simon get in the boat with him and Andrew push them off. Well, I'm a bit surprised by that because I know Simon will be knackered, having been up all night, and the last thing he's going to want to do is give some rabbi a pleasure trip round the bay. And then Andrew comes over and says, no, not a pleasure cruise, apparently. Rabbi wants to go fishing. Fishing? Yeah, right. I think to myself, he's probably setting out to teach him some deep spiritual lesson. Poor old Simon. I can't imagine he's going to be much impressed by a watery metaphor. He's not really the poetical type. So we watch them head out for a bit. But then we see Simon stand up, gathers his nets, looks for a moment like he's about to chuck them over one side, but then he seems to pause, change his mind, and throw them over the other. Weird. Not as weird as what happened next, though. Suddenly, boats rocking a bit, and Simon's it's like he's leaning back, bracing himself, like he's trying to haul in some massive weight. What's it? Wait, it's John who gets it first. It's fish, he yells. Look at those nets, they're full of fish. Come on, we need to get out there and help. So we jump in one of the other boats with Andrew. We can hear Simon shouting now, and John's right, those nets are full of fish. He's using every bit of his strength he's got. He's a big lad, but I've never seen a catch like it. So we all muck in, manage to haul it all back to shore eventually, but Simon's in a right old state. He's got his head in his hands, he's all sweating and tearful. He just keeps shaking his head and looking up at the rabbi like he can't believe it, or believe him. Then Jesus comes over, puts his hand round Simon's shoulder, and everyone goes quiet. It's all right, he says. You don't need to be afraid. Come and work with me. And then he looks round at all of us and smiles like we're his best mates. You come and work with me, and I'll make you fishers of men. Yeah. That's what he said. Yeah, fishers of men. And what's that all about? Don't you catch a man? Why would you want to? Andrew's grinning. No. Simon and John, they can't take their eyes off him. Everyone's nodding and smiling, and I find myself joining in. It's just... there's something about him. He kind of draws you in. Plus, you can't really argue with half a ton of sardines, can you?